what I've done is I've already come to the bike and I've removed the 4 factory lug nuts, and what comes with the kit is 4 standoffs. Is to get your adapter, your inner adapter, which is right here. It's a 2-piece adapter. This is being the inner, and it's to take everything away from your dust cap. So you remove your factory lugs and install. I have 3 out of the 4 installed. Simply, it's a lug nut. You just simply put this last one we have to put on, and I'll start it just like a typical lug nut. That's what it is, just a little longer. And we're going to tighten it on to typical lug nut specs that the bike calls for. I'm going to call that good just for the video. And now your 4 standoffs are installed. That's what it's going to look. Take your inner adapter, and different holes will fit different bikes. This is for Arctic Cat. Put it right on. Take the 4 factory lug nuts that we removed and just install them to hold your inner adapter in place. Now I'll leave my inner adapter on the bike. I never have any reason to take them off. Even if I have the dual wheels off, I do leave the adapters on because they don't hurt anything, and they barely stick out past the tire, a very little amount. So I just see no reason to take them off, and I'll leave them on all year round. So we'll just go ahead and snug these adapters, the inner adapter on, and they go factory spec. Just snugging them now good for the video. You would typically tighten them in an X pad to snug them up real good. You want to make sure they are really snug. They're going to stay on. As I said, I leave mine. I never take them off. Snug. Okay, so the inner adapter is installed. The only other step is we're going to take the outer adapter, and I've removed it off of the bike. I'm going to pick it up and show it to you here. This is the inner adapter I had installed. I've been using it in wood, so it's a little dirty, but it's going to arrive as we have it here. The wheel studs pushed in, have all my information on it, and you simply take it as you would and install it into your outer wheel right here. And I provide 4 lug nuts with it. You just install them just like you're putting on a rim on a tire on a truck or car or anything else. Get them all in position. And I'll just let it lay down because it's going to hold it up for me. And I'll go ahead, the right one on it. We're just going to snug all of these up. And you would snug these factory, whatever your manufacturer calls for, on the outer studs too, outer lock nuts. This typical rim, I want to say, comes off an Arctic Cat, and we did have to cut a hole in our rim because it's sealed, so there's no way to get the center bolt that holds the two together. What you have, I just made a big washer here because it's easier than going all the way in, but this simply goes through like so right here, and that holds everything together. So most rims, the only rim I've ever saw that has this sealed off rim, so we cut a hole in it. Typically your rims have a hole to, you see, much easier to bolt up, but it's not a big issue. As you can see, you can pretty much make anything type of tire adapt to it. So all you do here is, in adapters on, you can take in the outer is installed. You simply put the two together and slide it on, kick it on. So now it's in position. And what you would have to do to tighten it is just simply bolt this. The inner adapter receives this bolt, and you tighten it up from there. That's it. Right here, you'd snug it on to put 3/4 inch. And you just want to snug it solid, pretty tight. You don't have to try to break anything. Just land it pretty solid till your rims buck good together. And it's fully installed at this point. when you receive a new set though, you may have to trim the distance between the tires. I'll show you what you have to do. You have to trim the distance off of the inner adapter. Okay, so with your new outer wheel adapter, the half is installed. It's going to probably be too long. I make them too long because it can accommodate different rim depths. There's so many. I'd rather have it long and you trim it than to have it cut wrong and, you know, better cut off than try to add on. So what we have here, I'm gonna line it up on this one. It just slides over, and whatever distance we have between the two tires, we're simply going to trim off right here one time and customize it for your bike. And like I said, that's why I can accommodate so many different outer rims. You know, pretty much any ATV rim, providing a lug pattern you can bolt up, it can go on, it can be trimmed, whether it's a Polaris to Honda, Honda to Polaris, even some side by side you can adapt to them. It's pretty easy. As long as this will bolt, your lug nuts match up, you just get your length and make your adjustment. So we're going to put it together, show you what I'm talking about. It's simply square over square. You just match them up, mate them up, and that's it. You shove them together. Now in this case, I'm bottoming out right here, and we have a small space between the tires. It almost didn't need to be trimmed, but we need to measure this little distance. I mean, it's not rocket science. In my case, I would say it's the thickness of my finger across there, but we want to try to put a tape to get as accurate as we can. It'll be the easiest thing. I'm going to look down there, and I'm going to say we have to cut it's just probably ½ inch, maybe 5/8, and I'll go a little bit more, so I'm going to just go ahead and cut 3/4 of an inch because we've got a lot of room to play. So I'll take 3/4 of an inch, pull it off, and I'm going to mark 3/4 of an inch right here on this adapter. I'm going to go in the shop, trim it, and once I trim it off, try to keep it as square as you can. It doesn't need to be perfect though, but keep it as square as you can. That's all you have to do to this one. You just cut it off, and we'll go and show you how to do that, and that's it. That way, once you customize them for your bike once, you're good. And if you get another rim that's shorter or a little thinner space between it, this is like a lot of the older bikes with the live axle are very deep rims, and it'll make a difference. You know, sometimes you may have to cut 2 inches, 3 inches for the front ones, or some go on without being cut, but there's no way to fit them to every bike. There's so many different combinations. So it's a real simple thing. You do it once. And the only other thing is, if you cut so much off of this inner adapter that the center bolt protrudes too far, the center bolt can screw. If you go too far, you can't be hitting your dust cover. The center bolt may need to be trimmed. I don't think it will in this case, but you would put a lug nut over it to make sure, or a 1/2 inch bolt rather than a standard 1/2 inch thread. You'd put a nut over it and then do your trimming so you don't mess up your threads when you cut it. There's no other way I could do it because I can't send, 7 different measurement bolts. So you have to trim this and right here to match your bike one time. Okay. As I said, we want to take off. We had approximately a 1/2 inch gap between the two tires. I always go a little bit more, like a 1/4 inch more. So we had around 5/8, but I'll make these right here 3/4. It's better, you don't want to overcut, but in actuality, it could be a lot shorter. If they're too long, you have a space between your wheels, and you're going to get grass, rope, wire, mud, dirt. Everything is going to get into them, and it really increases the strength of the overall product when your two tires mesh together. That rubber to rubber it's a lot of friction. I mean, it squeezes together strong, and it takes a lot of strain off of lug nuts, lug bolts, axle, everything. So I try to squeeze them just about to where when this adapter here bottoms out onto the inner adapter, your tires have gotten good, but you want to see a squeeze in your tires. You don't tighten up too much to pop them off the rim or anything, but you want to squeeze them together, and it really, you'll feel it when you put them on, how solid they are. So all we're going to do is we're just going to mark 3/4. And like I said, it's not rocket science. I'm just putting a little 3/4 inch mark is all we're going to do right here. I'll just make it an inch even because I know how these things go. We're okay. And this is what would need to be trimmed. So mark it. I'll get a straight edge, which you know how to do it with a combination square. Put a good straight edge, and all you would do is come with the porter band or however you want to do it. If you have to do it with the little edge or what have you, and you would make your cut right here, straight on through. Just cut it off. If they're still a little too long, you know, trim another 1/4 inch off, but don't cut 2 inches off when you only need 1. And that will be it. But since I have another one ready, the right length cut for the bike, I was just doing a demo on this one, but we would just trim it right here, straight down. And once you do that once, you're good. Okay, and as you see, I have the adapter that's already pre-cut to fit on this this bike, and it's pretty much faced up with the face of the tire. So that's just how these here matched up. Like I said, it depends on the depth of your inner rim here, the space between here and here, as far as where it ends up. But once we've trimmed it, all we're gonna do is come to the bike and line them up, mate them up, and tap them together. And like I said, you want to squeeze these tires together. I don't try to break them. Just snug them pretty good. Get that center bolt started. That's it. It's important. I always put a little drop of oil or grease on the end of the center bolt to keep, because you'll have mud, debris, you know, trash get on them. So I like to keep it lubed a little bit. And all you have to do is tighten them up right here. Like I said, you can see the tire actually squeezing together. See the rim pushing in a little bit. You don't want to go so hard that you pop the tires off the rim. But that's it. It's installed. So you're going from right here, and say you're done with the hunting season, or the snow is over, and you don't need dew wheels on the bike anymore. All you do to take them off, walk up to the bike and spin off your center bolts off. Here, you can just roll this, put them in the garage, in the shed, wherever you want, and you're back to factory wheels. When it's time to put them on again, or you need to load the bike back in the trailer to take to the camp, or wherever you want to bring it, all you do is mesh them up. The same thing, tighten them up right here, get them together, and that's it. That's how fast they go on and off. You can do, like a little pit crew, you can go from 4 wheels to 8 wheels in a matter of a couple minutes. And I've seen a lot of different dual wheel designs. I had different designs I designed myself, but they were all kind of, look at here, they were all kind of labor intensive. I don't think this this design here can be any improved much. As far as speed, you're ready to roll from here on.